And I should have cleared my throat before I started. But until I tried to talk, I didn't realize how much I needed to clear my throat. And so it happened. It's just one of those things. We need to get past it now. Shieldsy, you're always so early, mate. I love the enthusiasm. But I'm like a wizard, always exactly when I intend to be here. So here we indeed are on, let's see, it's a Tuesday night in Australia, the 19th. The 20th is when Joseph Robinette Biden gets sworn in as the 46th president of the United States. That won't happen till 8 a.m. Thursday, our time. But yeah, I just thought I haven't been tweaking Trump supporters enough. So that's why I titled this stream Happy Trump Only Has One Day Left Day, because that's the way it is. Yeah, new huge fridge right behind me where the little white fridge used to be. It's huge. It's and actually, because I took away, there was a little chest freezer here too, and took that out too. And so my work desk behind me, I actually have more room, even though the fridge is much bigger. But it kind of looms over me here a little. But it's bigger, so I can put more things in it. And it's more energy efficient, so it should all cost me less to run. And I am basically quite happy with it. We'll have to see if I run out of freezer space and need to plug the extra freezer back in. You know, particularly if we have a nasty COVID turn and things get sicker. Oh, you lots of drinks. I might. You'll probably give a tour of the fridge later. It's the ones where the fridge is on the top and the freezer's on the bottom. I might show off a whole bunch of drinks that I had just sitting around trying to find places to fucking put them, basically. Things that I might not drink for a long time. Suddenly there's room, and so I put them all in the fridge. So they're all just ready to go. Justin, how will I celebrate you President's Day? To me, it's not so much celebration as it's a bit of relief. It is relief. Trump was absolutely horrific, and I honestly don't think the world's ever going to fully recover from his fuckery, just the way he empowered like the worst fucking people on the planet and absolutely debased public discourse, encouraged deranged paranoid thinking, so that truth isn't a thing. There's so many toxic things come out of Trump's fucking regime. It's just, the worst things are the things that actively hurt people. The bigotry that he put into law, and the really destructive directives he gave and whatnot. But just generally, like I said, the fact that he has debased just the concept of truth, the concept of reality, and we're now in this weird world where a huge number of people who've been sucked into absolutely unhinged, ridiculously stupid, uh, ridiculously stupid bloody conspiracies, and yet they're running around demanding to be taken seriously. It's so fucked. Shieldsy, happy birthday. Counting down to the big 4-0. Okay. And you think his name will be an insult. Well, in England, Trump was meant fart for the longest time. This is my favorite, an old word that should come back into vogue. And this is a real word, and it wasn't coined for Trump. It's an old word, and it has a few interesting definitions. The word is trumpery, and it has lots of shades of meaning, including worthless nonsense and showy but worthless, which is absolutely hilarious in my mind. Worthless nonsense. Trumpery derives from Middle English tromperie, ultimately from Middle French tromper, meaning to deceive, which is just an excellent linguistic root for his name, to deceive. Hello, Megaleech, and hello, Kirsten. The fridge got bigger. It's a different fridge, and it is actually, it's much closer to me than the white fridge was, but also because it's bigger, I had to move it this way so it's not in my way at my work desk. So I know you think his Scottish mother would have known about Trump. Well, the family had like some Germanic name, Drumpf, and they thought Trump sounded more American. Like, I don't think it was Trump's dad who changed his name. I think it was his grandfather. So, yes, the worthless nonsense will be removed from his seat of power in a day. And then it's just like, well, what happens next? Who knows? It's very hard to be sure what will happen next. Will any Republicans vote to convict Trump in the Senate and then do the second vote to block him from office? Who knows? I think a lot of it hinges on if Trump pardons the fuckwits who stormed the Capitol, I think he's in trouble. I think a number of Republicans would at that point go, fuck that guy, and maybe vote against him. It's like one of those cat videos, cat stalks, freezes, right until, oh, you think the fridge is creeping up on me. Okay, I get it. Yes, Justin Underwood. You share a surname with a certain fake president. Imagine if you ran for office. The original British name for the character in House of Cards was Francis Urquhart. So I'm not sure why they changed it to Underwood. They thought that sounded more American. I don't know. Annette, it does. It's generally speaking quieter than the other fridge. Although when what's it called? The thing that kicks in and makes noise when it's compressor? Is it the compressor? I don't know. I don't think so. But yes, it's better in every way. It's even got there's a little water dispenser on it, which is neat. Justin, being an American and Democrat's even funnier. It's the thermostat that makes it, King, and I think Shields saying, "Yep, it's the compressor that does it." Yeah. And yes, I did notice they'd announced that Biden's got a bunch of the worst Trumpery he intends to overturn on day one, which will be interesting to see. Because there is some ridiculous fucking bullshit that Trump did. Just evil shit. And the weird thing is that now it looks like tit for tat, because Trump, in his unhinged babyish way, had this obsession with getting rid of any Obama achievements he could, and it was just stupid, pointless, spiteful, and childish. In other words, Trump down to a T. And he did a bunch of sort of evil, diabolical shit. And of course, Biden's first course of action would be to get rid of the absolute worst that Trump did. But it kind of looks like tit for tat, and it's like you're going to have this endless cycle of dumb shit from presidents, but who knows? Justin, I kind of agree. Twitter should have banned Trump a long time ago. It's not just Twitter; it's also Facebook was very fertile for Trump in the election, and I don't know the degree to which it would have affected his election chances if he wasn't on those platforms. Because American TV, they were giving more airtime to Trump than all the other Republican candidates combined. And because they were fascinated, because all the accepted wisdom was Trump could never win. So you could laugh at the Trump sideshow, and they just gave him hundreds of hours of free publicity. And didn't that work out well for all of us? So, and he's exactly like a spiteful child. He has both, and this is just based on a lot of evidence, he has both the mental and emotional capacity of a cranky child. It's ridiculous. Oh, no, there's no way it's over. Not least, Trump has inspired the most unhinged members of American society to be so extreme. It is a sad reality that you're probably going to see significant amounts of terrorism from those people. Everything from shooting incidents. There's going to be a lot of that, and sort of very worrying to think one of them will do another sort of Oklahoma bombing scale terrorism, because that's what they are. They're fucking terrorists, and they've just been given free rein to be the worst they can be. And there is nothing more dangerous than someone who believes they have divine right on their side, because that very quickly inspires people to commit reprehensible acts, and they convince themselves it's for the greater good. Darren Osmos, imagine calling 75 million terrorists because they wanted an audit. First, I didn't say 75 million people were terrorists. I said the extremists are. Second, wanted an audit. Multiple court cases reviewed the absolutely unmitigated bullshit. Like the bullshit Trump's mob was taking into court was fucking embarrassing. They not only didn't, repeatedly were told they didn't have evidence, they didn't even have a case. They couldn't articulate what they wanted beyond this petulant, babyish bullshit of every vote we lost is not real, and we could do it. So you have people saying like, oh, the vote was wrong in this state. I don't see the Republicans who won Senate and Congress seats in the same election stepping down because the vote was wrong. It is the most pathetic and embarrassing and stupid, brain dead shit imaginable. And honestly, you've got to be such stupid fucking cunts to do that. And again, this and what this brain dead little Trump suckhole did is so obvious. I was very precise in my language. I was talking about the terrorists who are excessively likely to commit terrorist acts, shootings, and bombings. I was incredibly precise. And that worthless, brain dead little cunt pops up and goes, oh, you just called all 75 million Trump voters terrorists because they wanted an audit. No, it isn't an absence of evidence. You stupid fucking cunt. These morons fronted up to court repeatedly, and you know what you have to have in court, you pathetic fucking child? You have to have evidence. They don't have any because there's nothing there. You are the most pathetic, worthless, inbred child I can conceive of. You are stupid, you are petulant, you are worthless, you are the scum of the fucking earth. The only thing you're good for is giving me a bit of fun, because that's all you are. You're a stupid fucking moron. It's just a bit of fun to slap you around because you're so pathetic, and you've got this compulsion to humiliate yourself publicly by saying the stupidest fucking shit imaginable, and you think you sound smart. You don't. You sound like a fucking moron because you're a fucking moron, and you doubtless come from a long line of fucking morons, you fucking pathetic inbred idiot. On a brighter side, hello, Abigail. You got a TV receiver card. Nice. On your PC. That is, I just love code switching. Stupid little child go bye-byes because it's a pathetic waste of time. And and also, the stupid kid, well, I'm not a lawyer. No, you're not. So shut the fuck up about legal issues. You know who were lawyers? The people in the courts. You know who were judges? The people judging, including multiple fucking judges who were appointed by Trump, who looked at the embarrassing shit that Giuliani and the other morons were vomiting out and just said, get the fuck out. Just get the fuck out. What the fuck are you doing? What a fucking defense. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm going to say a platitude now. The people in the court were lawyers. The people in the court were judges. You fucking absolutely moronic fucking cunt. Jesus. No, I'm definitely having too much fun. Yeah, some people are a waste of time. Like that one. That's I love the bloody, what do we call it? The command center, Abigail. One monitor with the cricket, one monitor for the live stream, main monitor with the game, another monitor for notes. That's very much a command center. Ashoka, what is it saying about 74 million Americans who voted for the village idiot? Well, I think based on statistics from previous elections, about half of those people who voted for Trump are just rusted on Republican voters who vote Republican literally no matter what. And that actually goes the same for Democrats. It goes for the major parties. There was a really good example. I forget what it was, and this was quite a few years ago. So I know someone putting it. So, you wondered what percentage will vote along party lines, literally no matter what. In one election, the Republican, before election day, was arrested and imprisoned for something really serious, like it was murder or rape or something. But anyway, this guy was arrested and imprisoned for a really serious crime, and he still got 27% of the vote. It was a state thing. It was obviously on everyone knew that this guy had gone to prison. He got 27% of the vote anyway. So of the people who voted for Trump, I'd say half of them just rusted on Republican voters who vote Republican no matter what. The other half actively believe the Trump bullshit, which is really disturbing. So we're talking about somewhere in the region of 35 to 40 million Americans at a minimum who are absolutely unhinged and disconnected from reality. So somewhere around, and if you think the ones who didn't bother to vote, the thing, somewhere around 20 to 30% of the US population is absolutely disconnected from reality, which is fucking terrifying. And hello, Sunbear and Stella. Yes, Megalich, the Republican brokens. Well, I love that too. Oh my god, that said about the rusted on Labor voters in Australia who can't conceive of critiquing Labor Party politicians when they fucking need to be critiqued, and they're just rusted on Labor brokens. But it's just like, you get the point where you're so wedded to an ideology that you can't objectively look at the people who supposedly represent that ideology. You can't objectively look at the party that you've decided is your party. And it's a personal affront to you when someone goes, hey, that Labor Party fucking refugee policy is fucked, isn't it? Like, and as in actively evil and disgusting and despicable. How dare you criticize Labor? Get fucked. Yeah, but Raiders, I know that one about the dead Republican who died just before the election and was still on the ballot and won. That sounds funny, but the way the election works, the Republican Party won that seat and they get to nominate a replacement. And it definitely sounds funny to be able to say a dead Republican won. But people know they're voting for the Republican Party in that case, and the Republican Party will appoint someone else to the seat. But I'm talking about an election where the guy was in fucking prison and they voted for him. So, yeesh. Justin, I think lots of voters don't know who they're voting for when they vote. And in many cases, it's just super fucking hard to know. It's not made easy for people to discover. And I mean, certainly in Australian politics, it seems like the individual member is less important because people don't, as a rule, buck the party line. They, so it does not make a lot of difference who your local member is because they're just a cog in the party machine. But yeah, it's a bit weird. Ooh, Annette, nice combination. Roasted almonds go well with Starwood New Old Fashioned. So that's like you're having nuts, almonds as a snack with a New Old Fashioned. I've got something new to try tonight, actually. I just finished my fruit juice. Might have some. Something I'd been looking for a while and finally found it, namely horchata. It's just one of those things you hear about it, and it's like, we're going to get that. So, horchata is often described as sweet rice milk. What is it made of? Traditionally, rice, milk, vanilla, and cinnamon. What I've got is an alcoholic version of horchata made by the Spanish people who make Licor 43, and it's actually vegan, so it's not made from milk. I haven't tried it yet, so I've got to try it. Abigail, your local member is the leader of the Australian Greens. Could be proud of their representative. Yeah, okay. So independents and small parties are different. I was talking about the major parties, basically, in that I really don't think who your local member is makes a huge difference if you're voting along party lines. Megalich, did I see your post read the topic of truth from the start of the stream? I don't think I did, actually. Kirsten, speaking as Starwood, even though the gin event's cancelled, is it? Bummer. Coming down to Melbourne. Yes. Catch up. Even use that as an excuse. I've always wanted to go to Starwood for a tasting. But yes, no, absolutely. Catching up. Have a bevy or two. That is absolutely a thing we should do. So we shall arrange that and do things. So Megalich, caught up, truth topic, saw a great video testing the topic. Ra Men, episode 119, pro tooth plan. Okay, remember this. Abigail, you saw Tenet, yeah, with that whole time thing. I haven't seen it yet, so no spoilers. But yes, a mind fuck. It did kind of look like it. Yes, Annette, we have a bevy day, most definitely. I think we need to work out some details of what we'll actually do. Find some appropriate venues to have bevies. Looking forward to it. Deaf Eye Night Lie. Having the YouTube meetup this coming weekend on Saturday, and it'd be like near Fed Square in the city. And then after that, gonna go out with Mrs. Angry to one of the places in the city we like, have some dinner und drinkies. And that should be fun. And that's right. You like Patient Wolf. Is Patient Wolf is that just gin, or do they do other stuff as well? I don't have any objection to a gin distiller. Over 18. Yes, they make gin. I knew they made gin. I just wasn't sure if they made anything else. Patient Wolf, Melbourne Dry. Summertime. Blackthorn. That's their version of sloe gin. Grapefruit, the Princeton. I'm looking, they have drink recipes. Brunswick Summer Cup. I don't like. It's making me snob, but I don't like spritzers. Martini, Negroni, fuck off. What's this one? A Princeton. Dry gin and port. Okay. All right. I mean, that sounds like a pretty good plan. Friday the 12th. Which is unfortunately after school. We're doing a few other distilleries over the weekend. Well, it sounds like you're going to have fun for sure. Right, I think I finished my fruit juice. I want to try horchata. Oh, and there's this. I wanted to. I'm going to give it a go and make. Brandy Alexander. Mistyped Brandy Alexander. But instead of cream, use this horchata. That would be a vegan Brandy Alexander. I'm going to make that. I want to see what it's like. It's my theory. Anyway, I'm going to get a tasting glass. And I'm going to taste the horchata. Will I put it in? My tasting glass is gone. And I thought I had something sitting just here. There it is. A little absinthe glass will do as a tasting glass. Put some stuff back in. Right. Probably, excuse me for a second, I think this probably has to be rinsed. Rinse. Joy of doing a stream in the kitchen. All right, rinse again. And give it a quick dry. That's good enough. So, hey, I'll give you a tour of the new fridge because the horchata's in the fridge. So, oh dear, this is all tangled up. Ugh. And once more. Sorry, if anyone gets motion sickness, that might have been a bumpy ride just there. All right. Okay, so the fridge is huge. See, a lot of stuff on top of it. They used to be on top of the bar fridge. And we go in here. And look, it's all my drinkies up there. My sodas down there, my Cappy soda and tonic water. Bunch of pineapple juice there. And my vermouths. And there's all sorts of things up here. But I want this. Horchata. All right, so there's a tour of my fridge. Hope I didn't make anyone motion sick. Right. That was a very large fridge. All right. So this is Liquor 43 horchata, a creamy fusion of Liquor 43 and traditional horchata from Valencia. It's dairy-free and vegan, so I think it's like a sales point if this actually makes a good Brandy Alexander. Be a vegan Brandy Alexander. But I haven't even tasted this. It does look like rice milk, actually. But I like Liquor 43, so... Megalich, the food fridge is actually over there. It is like my extras fridge, although there is space for veggies if the crisper here gets full. Oh man, that's good. Oh, that's really good. Creamy and sweet and vanilla-y. No, that is really good. Okay, good purchase. Good purchase. What's the alcohol content? Only 16%. That's about what I expected. So, I mean, a brandy Alexander's pretty simple. 1.5 ounces brandy, dark creme de cacao, white creme de cacao, and cream. But I'm going to substitute horchata for cream. God, that's going to be a really decadent drink, I think. I want to test run it because I often don't test run. It's not just the bar fridge, but it is mostly the bar fridge, actually. The freezer has food in it. It's not like just full of ice for my drinks, though there's ice in there. But yeah, there's food in there as well. It's just mostly my drinks. There's actually a lot of empty space in the fridge because it's new. I haven't filled it up yet. Right, so I'm going to try and make a vegan brandy Alexander now. So, got to get the ingredients from over here. Where's Nacho Nana? There's Nacho Nana. A little bit of that bottle left. I have a whole other bottle of it. Don't panic. Where did I put the cremes de cacao? White creme de cacao and brown creme de cacao. All right. Cocktail shaker. Cocktail shaker. And a nice glass. What about the chillette? Right. This is just going to be a bit ghetto, really. My jigger. Okay, so because not this coming weekend, but the weekend after it's Brandy Alexander Day. So I'm gonna do a video for Brandy Alexander Day. Thought I'd set myself apart. I will do a vegan Brandy Alexander. Let's double check. What does Difford say to make? 1.5, 2/3 dark, 1/3 white creme de cacao. Okay. And 1 ounce of. Okay. So, I think I'll just use this ice that I had here. Waste not, want not, I guess. Yes, I thought you might enjoy Brandy Alexander Day, Annette. It's towards the end of the month. So ice, I might put this in first, and the other stuff can wash it in. So 1 ounce of the horchata. Life is on. Get some brown creme de cacao. 2/3. Ooh, very chocolatey. Shieldsy, you think the fridge makes the room look too small? It kind of looms over me, but it's functional. Ooh, Annette, you're doing the Nordic Noir Netflix party. Cool, have fun. See you later. Now, 1/3 of an ounce of white creme de cacao. I'm getting something in the mail, and I don't know what it is because I don't know what it is because I bought several things online, and I just got an email that said your package is coming from Australia Post, and it doesn't say what it is. So it's like, cool, surprise! Sometime in the next couple of days. It's not booze, but it's probably something to do with cocktail making because I ordered a couple of bits of hardware online. A new shaker and a new juice squeezer. Hellshade, you for one will be glad when Trump's gone. Many hundreds of millions of people around the world will be very glad when Trump's gone. Certainly, other millions of weirdos are going to call it all a conspiracy because they're idiots. Hey, Safa. I didn't install the new fridge. Two lads came around, took away the old fridge, put in the new fridge. It was a slight pain to take everything out and then put everything back in. But anyway, I'll switch off my microphone while I shake, okay? Microphone back on. Abigail, you ordered about 20 odd things from eBay. Nice. Ooh, getting 2 or 3, 4 packages a day. Nice. Bonjour, Lee. So, well. Ooh, what a nice chocolatey color that is. All right. Feature reference. That coupe is too big. So I'll use the Nick and Nora for a video, assuming I like it. Now, the all important taste. It just looks like caramel milk. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Doesn't even really taste of brandy. Mostly tastes of the chocolate and horchata. I think I get a shaker with a silencer. Actually, the shaker that's coming is this sort of double wall insulated one. Probably will be quieter. The noise probably will be a bit subdued. So we shall see. Yeah, cocktail shaking and even stirring makes a lot of noise. Particularly if anyone was wearing headphones, the noise would not be great, I think. That Paul McCartney dedicated a song for Trump. Despite repeated warnings, those who shout loudest may not always be the smartest. That is a true thing. Speaking as someone who regularly shouts loudly, or used to, haven't really much for the last year because COVID was weird. Put my head in a weird space. I'd much rather do this at the moment. Yep, that's pretty good. That's a yes. Doing that. Gerard's Gold on Twitch. Hello. Yep, I'm saying that's a winner. So I'll definitely do that. Now I've got just a little bit of this brand. I've got a replacement bottle. No one panic. Because you appreciate the muted shaker. Yeah, it's even stirring a cocktail with a lot of ice in the mixing glass can be a pretty harsh noise, particularly if you have headphones on. So, cheers. It's like dessert. No, it's pretty good. All right, this was a good purchase. I like this. I have to find some other things to do with it. Hellshade, mixed drinks tend to vodka and orange juice or Captain Morgan and Coke. If that's what floats your boat, then you go for it. Yeah, this is only actually getting complicated with cocktails is only something I got into in the last couple of years. And it's a bit of a rabbit hole to go down once you do, and you end up with a collection like that. And you end up being a snob like me and making YouTube videos where you say vodka's a bullshit ingredient. Use an ingredient that has taste and character, not something that you're actually literally not meant to be able to taste. Because my favorite type of cocktail is one that goes through a range of tastes as you drink it. Like if a cocktail is just like one note, as your boy. Hellshade, you don't have to apologize for missing the odd key, even if you didn't have wrist surgery. You know, it's just typing. You know, it's not that big a deal. But I completely understand if you had wrist surgery that you might miss the occasional key. I don't make brandy Alexanders very often, but with this horchata, it's pretty good. So I'm definitely doing that. I'm going to do the vegan brandy Alexander. Make the vegans happy. God, it's almost like I'm doing an ad for this Liquor 43 horchata. I wish I was sponsored by alcohol brands. Yes, I steal that line of yours all the time, Kirsten. Vodka is the same story of a spirit that could have been gin. Missed its opportunity, really. It's truly. Although I don't know if you can see it. There it is, red top. Big bottle of Smirnoff I bought when I was at Costco on the weekend because I've got a big bottle. I'm going to use it. I'm going to make some infusions. Abigail, that absolutely would be a fight with Kirsten if you said vodka was better than gin. Vodka is good for getting you pissed without tasting like alcohol. Doesn't really, like, literally by definition, vodka's not meant to have character. If vodka does have character, it's technically not vodka. It's meant to be a completely neutral spirit. So there are one or two, it's probably around the world, but I know there's one or two Australian makers who essentially make flavored vodkas, and they don't really call them vodka. It's almost like rather than redistilling the vodka with the botanicals and other enhancers to make gin, they've actually just infused it or macerated it. So they've let the flavor things soak in the vodka, and then it's like a flavored spirit. It's not vodka. It doesn't meet the legal definition of vodka. It isn't gin. And I guess this also counts if they do the double distillation but don't use juniper, because to be gin, it has to be juniper as a central element of the distillation. Shields, you see, Google Home Hubs with its ears going off, man. You don't. Do you have to say, hey, Google to it or something, Shieldsy? So if I start saying, hey, Google, order 5 large family pizzas with the lot for delivery, is it going to try and buy things? You know. Hey, Google, order a 12-inch dildo to be delivered. Yeah. See, I'm not a very subtle person. All right. So the Brandy Alexander worked. Nice. Well, I see, Abigail, the neutral thing is, is what it is. You know, vodka's just about getting pissed, basically. And it's not like I have an objection to just getting pissed. It's a thing I do on the regular. So, hey, Robot Man Greg, you've rocked up to a classic Angry House episode. I just had one dumb as shit Trumpo, which was fun. It was just like if someone who supported Trump could be vaguely sensible, I'd have a vaguely sensible conversation with them. But you know, this fuckwit again. They just they make shit up. They completely misrepresent what you say. They lie about what you say, and they expect to be taken seriously. Oh, Abigail, there's nothing wrong with enjoying vodka. And again, I've got, I think Crystal Head is a good drinking vodka. I've still got some little bottles of Crystal Head. Smirnoff, not so much. That's a mixer for me. I've still got a little bit of Tito's. A lot of people like Tito's as a drinking vodka. It was okay. It's anything, but I mean, I've had a couple. I think Crystal Head is a good sipping vodka. Oh, you like the shirt Hellshade, the No Place Like Home, one of the 1,000 or so T Fury t-shirts I've got over the years. Right. I'm going to put this glass out of the way so I don't knock it over and smash it, because that's the thing I do from time to time. And I'm going to put some bottles back. Ugh. I have to make something with brandy just to use up that little bit that's in that bottle. Clean the cacao back on this one. And put the liquor 43 back in the fridge. And you know, one of these glasses, because I have a clarified cocktail that I haven't had a proper drink of that I want to taste what it's like. Because I really liked the base cocktails. All right, what am I doing? I have another one of these. Put a little Death Star in my glass. Okay, that's not my new fridge doing that, by the way. That's the older fridge. And no slight to you, slightly older fridge. You're a good fridge. Right, done. Sorry, on the cocktail. Oh, yeah, this is a good one to see out Trump, actually. This is the Archie Rose Botanical Vodka is good. That's that one you mentioned is the one I think I've seen, Kirsten. Australian spirit called Vantage. Got native botanicals but no juniper. That's the one I think I've seen things. Oh yeah, Hellshade. It does seem impossible to have an honest that's the thing, just honest. If they would stop saying things that just aren't true. And like, particularly when they tell you what you've said and it's not what you've said, it's ridiculous. They're such a waste of time. Safi, you think the room looks smaller too. It is a big fridge and it's much closer to me than the other fridge was. But as I said before, my workspace, oh Jesus, the fucking camera. I actually have more room there at my workspace because we're put there. So this is a clarified version of a cocktail called Mr. President. That's rum, sweet vermouth and red aperitivo, bitter aperitivo. And that's going live on my cocktail channel tomorrow, Inauguration Day, the Mr. President. And it's actually a really good cocktail. I really enjoyed it. Like it's a 9 out of 10. And this is a clarified version of it. So I have to have a proper drink of this. About half of it. Seems like about half. I like that, Safa. They should call the Capitol Fort Biden during inauguration. And yes, Zeppelin, it is true that you certainly can't have a reasonable conversation with Trump because he's a fucking idiot. And he's such a grifter as well. Like, he's such a con man. He's such a liar. I find it's gotten to the stage where it's impossible to tell when he believes the stupid shit he's saying and when he's just lying because that's what he does. He lies as a matter of course. But then it's like, okay, I feel like sometimes he knows he's lying, but at other times he seriously doesn't know that he's lying. He thinks he's saying the truth. But yeah. Oof. And I desperately hope, probably in vain, but I desperately hope American media does not give him any oxygen while he's out of office. Because that's the thing, without attention, he fades away. But I just think the American media in particular, and the global media generally, but the American media in particular, are addicted to the drama, and they won't be able to resist, and they'll fucking give him publicity, and it'll be gross. Anyway, Mr. President. Well, that's really nice. Jesus, that tastes like fruit juice. Oh, and there's a little bit really late on the palate, the bitterness from the aperitivo. So it's got this has a really fruity, sweet vermouth from Adelaide, from Unico Zello, that has among other things, has the Japanese citrus yuzu in it. But it's it's a very full-bodied, sweet red vermouth, very fruity, and that fruitiness comes through, but it doesn't taste that much like alcohol. So it's kind of like drinking fruit juice, which is super fucking dangerous because this has a lot of rum in it, actually. I just remembered how I made it. I made it with a lot of rum, not really tasting the rum. You can taste the fruitiness from the vermouth, and then you get that very light bitterness. It's like the default recipe for the cocktail was like, use Campari, and I'm like, ew, gross, Campari shit. Yeah, I can't really go at the really bitter aperitifs because again from South, I've used it up. Finally, it took ages because it's too bitter for me. The Oka Island bitter, an Australian like alternative to Campari. It's just as bitter as Campari. I think it has a better flavor than Campari. I think it has a fuller flavor. I think Campari is just kind of one note with its flavor. The Oka Island bitter has a bit more depth, but it's just as bitter. So I can't really go at this. Actually has a French bitter red aperitif in it, Dolan Bitter de Chambre. So yeah, whenever there's now that I found that one that I like, an Aperol is fine, which is another Italian one. Whenever I get a recipe that says Campari, it's like, no, I'm gonna use Aperol or the Bitter de Chambre. But some people really like bitter things. Like one of the most popular cocktails is the Negroni, and bitter AF, honestly. and a lot of people are in. And I tried so hard. One place, Mrs. Angry and I like going for like date night. They were like, at one point they were having, oh, we're doing a special on Negronis. We've got all these Negroni variations. And so you're bound to like one of them. And I tried really hard, and it's just too fucking bitter. So yes. Hellshade, live in New York. Most New Yorkers know Trump's full of shit. Yes. But too many gullible people in the US falling for bullshit. It is, yeah. Yeah. New Yorkers have had decades of seeing just how bad Trump is. There's a very funny video on YouTube, the Some More News channel, Cody Johnson presents. And he had this one, how like in so many movies, either Trump himself or a character that is very obviously based on Trump is the villain, and he's like the worst ever. And he's saying like, we spent decades saying Trump is the worst. Trump is the absolute worst. All these different movie villains who are obviously Trump, and he's the worst. And yet somehow he became president. It's weird. Oh, Kirsten, you're going to bring some samples, bitter aperitivos. Look, I'll give it a go. I'm always willing to try. I think you have considerably higher tolerance for bitterness than I do, but we both agree that Campari is shit. But where I will acknowledge the Oka Island bitter is noticeably better than Campari, but it's just as bitter, and it's too bitter for me. So yeah, I have managed to find a couple, and I like. There's a whole bunch of different Amari that I like. The darker bitter, they're digestives, aren't they? So the wanky terms, the aperitif is something you're meant to have before a meal, and it's, I don't know, it gets you ready to eat. And then there's heavier drinks, and like whiskey is in this, called digestives, and you're supposed to have them after a meal, and then like helps your meal digest, which I suspect is bullshit. Yeah. So if you're saying it's predicted to be hot for the meetup, yes, hydration is key. Let me see. What's it saying? This Saturday. Oh, it's only 29, man. Sunday's going to be fucking hot. It's going to be warm. But the initial meeting place has trees for shade. And if it gets too warm, we always go somewhere that's air conditioned. Go one of the food halls or something to get out of the heat. I don't think it'll be intolerable. Kirsten, you're just bitter by nature. What's there's a pop culture article from a year or so ago saying, if gin is your preferred drink, you're more likely to be a serial killer, because apparently, or not a serial killer, but a psychopath, because liking bitter things is somehow linked to extreme personalities. I don't know. I mean, it was all complete bullshit. But anyway, Zeppelin, you'll be there in spirit. That's fine, man. You're still in Adelaide. Safa, 40 up in the country. Yeah, well, it's going to be up around 40 on the Sunday, depending. They're predicting like high 30s. Could go anywhere. Could be lower, could be higher. But Saturday, at the moment, they're predicting to be about 29. So we shall see. Fuck, that's a good drink. Like every now and then, and I should keep notebooks and say, okay, this one's 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. Remember that, because I often forget. But this one, really simple 3-ingredient drink. It's really good. It's just white rum, sweet vermouth, and a red aperitivo, bitter aperitivo. It's really good. Again, not everyone would be into that. It'd be a bit too boozy for some people. Even when I used the less bitter aperitivo, some people would still find it too bitter. And this is why, like, you know, we're joking before about, you know, drinking vodka and orange, or you know, Captain Morgan and cola, and Abigail preferring vodka to gin. Your drink is your drink. I mean, yes. I mean, I will either jokingly or seriously say that's a shit drink. But if it's your drink, it's your drink, and that's what's important. Safa, is red wine the drink off Scrooge's? I actually don't know what that question means. So, yep, nope, I just don't know what that question means. What Scrooge are we talking about? That could mean multiple things. So, Shieldsy, iced tea, man, go for it. There's nothing wrong if that's your thing. Yes, that's the summary, Abigail. This is my drink. There are many like it, but this is mine. All right. I don't, dude, Safa, you just meant generally people who don't spend money. You can spend a lot of fucking money on red wine if you want to. It's the same as anything. You can buy cheap spirits or expensive spirits. You can buy cheap wine or expensive wine. You can buy cheap beer or expensive beer. But the fact is, in Australia, for $10, you can get a thoroughly decent wine. A $10 bottle of wine will get you pissed if that's what you want. You know, we happen to have fairly high quality wines here. If you go up to $20, it's it's much more likely to be good. But from what people tell me, you can get thoroughly decent wines for like $10 in Australia. Definitely for $20. So, and yes, a bottle of wine will get you pissed. But it's the same as, you know, you can buy a cheap bottle of vodka, which will be harsh as fuck, or a more expensive one that will be a nice drinking beverage. Same as gin, same as whiskey, all these things. How much you spend. And like okay, so you can say like, oh, I can get a $10 bottle of wine, or even just standard whiskey. What's like Jim Beam set you back? I don't know, because I haven't bought any for a while. Oh my God, what the fuck? Yes, okay. Fucking Dan's changed their website, and I don't know why. Oh yeah, they got that Bundaberg 12 year on the big special. They got it. It's kind of tempted to get some Patron tequila. It's pretty good, but anyway. Anyway, let's just say Jim Beam. So yeah, I thought $40 was about the right thing. So, you know, someone would say, why would I spend $10? Sorry, why would I spend $40 on a bottle of whiskey when I could spend $10 on a bottle of wine and get pissed? Well, you know, a bottle of wine is, you know, 5 or 6 standard drinks. I mean, what's this one? Look at bottle of red wine. Okay, 8. So a bottle of red wine is 8, somewhere between 7 to 10, depending on the strength. A bottle of wine is 7 to 10 standard drinks. Okay, and you can get that for between $10 and $20, depending on where you go. But you know, the bottle of whiskey for $40 is something like 30 standard drinks. So, yeah. So what is it? How many? 20. Okay, it's 20 standard drinks. So, yeah, possibly if you're just getting pissed, wine might be better bang for your buck. But yeah, it's down to your taste. I like to pretend. I like to pretend that when I'm drinking, it's not just about getting pissed. That's part of it, but part of it's the taste. So, what's more popular in Dubbo, beer or red wine? I'm going to go with beer. Zeppelin, reading's a version of getting drunk, reading Simon Sinek's books. Nice. Stelly, just pulled up from driving. Got to say, once you go to expensive single malt whiskies, you can't go back to cheap shit. But you aren't drinking expensive whiskies to get pissed. Yes. I actually, one of the early videos I did on my cocktail channel on YouTube was, are expensive ingredients worth it? Because my prejudice going in was no, because it's like, oh, you're mixing it with other stuff. You can't tell. And I got one of those little gift packs from Dan's that had some really expensive bourbons in it. And so I made multiple whiskey sours, and I made one. It was either with Jack Daniels or Jim Beam. I don't even remember, but it was a standard bourbon, and I made two with these expensive ones. You know, the little bottles this big of quite expensive bourbons. And God, there's one of them left. I must have just finished it a little while ago. Booker's. Man, this was 65.65% alcohol. But there was 4 of these in the little they were all different, but they were expensive bourbons. So I made 2 with expensive bourbons and 1 with a bog standard bourbon, and then say, oh, is there any difference? And oh my God, the difference was so noticeable. Like, the expensive ones were so much better. And I was really surprised, because I was like, nah, once you mix it with stuff, it's not going to make any difference. Fuck me, was it different. That's why I've got into the Australian whiskies are make really good both old fashions and whiskey sours. Very good. Yes, Mega Leech. And then there's Little Fat Lamb. Yea, verily, the devil's spunk. My God, that stuff is dangerous. That stuff is very dangerous. For those not familiar with it, Little Fat Lamb is like an alco pop. It's an alcoholic, bubbly flavored thing, like with really cheap flavors in it. It's like cheap and nasty, but it's fucking cheap. Like, you can get depending where you buy it from, but a 1.25 liter bottle of Little Fat Lamb, which is way more than enough to get you pissed. It's like 8 standard drinks. Actually, now I'll look that up. Do Dan's have Little Fat Lamb? Be the easiest thing. That is the devil's brew. Little Fat Lamb. They have the 1.25 liters, or do they just sell the cans? Oh God, they just sell the dignified one, cans and smaller bottles. All right, I'm going to look it up generally. Little Fat Lamb, 1.25 liters. Who sells that? Oh yes, Just Liquor. Why not? So it's $8 is an average price for it. It's 8% alcohol, which doesn't sound that bad, but you get 1.25 liters of it for $8. Oh, so this site doesn't say how many standard drinks that is in the bottle. Yeah, but it's dangerous. Like, for $8, you can get fucking shit faced. How many standard drinks? There we go. Yeah, okay. 8 standard drinks for $8. You get absolutely fucking shit faced. Like, if you drink one of those things for $8, you will be pissed for like you're not going to drink it. Oh, you might if you're an idiot. But if you drink one of that you'll be pissed for like 5 hours. You'll be if you drank a whole thing of this inside an hour, which is perfectly doable. For the next 2 hours, you're going to be really fucking pissed, and then it'll like slowly start to wear off. They're dangerous. They're fucking dangerous. Yeah, Kirsten, sober is preferable to Little Fat Lamb. It's pretty fucking scary. That stuff is literally from the devil. It is not good. It is absolutely not good. So it's just to get teenagers shit faced. It's so obviously absolutely heinous, like the worst. It is absolutely the worst. So, and I say this as someone who has bought 1.25 litre bottles of it and drank it for the experience of, and it's bad. It's awful. It's awful. But it'll get you fucking pissed. Like I said, it depends where you buy it. It can be as high as $12. But the average price for these 1.25 litre bottles goes between $8 and $12. Like I said, that'll get you. You'll be pissed for like 5 hours if you drink one of them. Oof, 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 oof. And it's the same deal. Like, okay, this that I was drinking, if I were to be not particularly moderate with it, there's a fair bit of booze in that. So is rum. There's several shots of rum. That's 40% alcohol. Vermouth is much lower. What's the aperitivo? I'm just gonna look. 16%, yeah. So those aperitifs tend to only be about 16%. And Aperol is only 11%. So the rum is the serious alcohol content, and the other stuff is flavor stuff, is comparatively low, still more alcohol than Little Fat Lamb. So if I were to drink that in immoderate way, I would get super fucking pissed. Oh Jesus, that's a sad story, Abigail. A friend, as a teenage 18, 19-year-old kid, was convinced to buy $2,000 worth of Little Fat Lamb to on-sell it to others, and no one wanted to buy it. Not even but it's still, someone's buying it. Someone is buying it. It still exists. It's in the bottle shops. So someone's buying it. And there we have evidence of the collapse of society, really. So I don't know why I did that. The first stumble was inadvertent. The rest were deliberate. So, yes, we agree Little Fat Lamb is of the devil. We won't do that. So, yes, when you find something you like, though, you can get the double benefit of having, that is a tasty beverage. I like to consume that. I like to sip that. I like to have a little drink. And, woohoo, I can get pissed, too. I forget how much, because I put extra rum in that. If I look up where I got this recipe, the Mr. President. Mr. President, the default is just over 1 shot of rum, 3/4 of a shot of vermouth, and half a shot of the. So, okay, the default is about 2 standard drinks, something like that. Somewhere, the default is somewhere between 2 and 3 standard drinks, like enough that you're gonna feel a bit of a buzz when you drink it, for sure. And because I was making extra when I was doing the to make it worth my while, because the process of clarifying a cocktail takes ages and a bit of work. So I make at least double batches, and I put lots of extra rum in there. So what I had was probably 2 shots of rum. So that's probably definitely like 3 standard drinks. So like, I definitely should not be operating heavy machinery. Yeah. Abigail, we the adults thought the big little fat lamb plot was hilarious, but he's still paying it back. He's in med school rich, so no sympathy. Yes, I think it's funny too. Come up with a plot like that, I'm going to buy some really shitty alcohol and sell it to desperate teenagers and have it backfire. That's pretty funny. That is pretty funny. There was the equivalent in the US for Loco. I'm not sure if anyone kept up with the folklore of Four Loco. The original version, this was a malt liquor, and that's like I'm not 100% sure of what it is. I'll do a thing. What is malt liquor? Malt liquor is a strong lager or ale in which sugar, corn, or other adjuncts are added to the malted barley to boost the total fermentable sugars, gives a boost to the final alcohol concentration without creating a heavier or sweeter taste. Thus, they are not very bitter. So, malt liquor is like a more intense beer, higher alcohol. And Four Loco was a malt liquor that had and I think like a lot of caffeine in it. So it was like a quite alcoholic energy drink. So it had that double pronged danger of getting you pissed but giving you lots of energy. And there was a little bit of a moral panic in the US about Four Loco. And so, although the product name still exists, I think it has much less caffeine in it than it used to. I think it's probably still like malt liquor levels of alcohol. Oh, sorry, excuse me. So, yes, I think Four Loco, the brand, still exists, but it doesn't have all the caffeine in it anymore because there was the belief that the combination of caffeine and alcohol is a very dangerous combination. And, yeah, probably. But fucking back to the Devil's Juice, Little Fat Lamb. They do have one. I've never seen it in person, but I like saw it online. It was like an energy. Why is that so hard for me to say? An energy drink version of Little Fat Lamb. So it's like Little Fat Lamb with caffeine. So basically, Four Loco. But it's never really broken through into the mainstream. I mean, it's dodgy as fuck because it's obviously designed just to get teenagers drunk. That's why it exists. That's the only reason it exists. Ty, hello, hooray. I assume you're doing a hooray for bye-bye Trump, I'm assuming. That's what all the rational people are doing. Ugh. This is so yummy. Super tempted to have more, but I won't because tomorrow's a work day. So I shall be responsible because I'm a little bit pissed now. Abigail, I think you hit the nail on the head there. The combination of alcohol and caffeine is dangerous, but only seems to only present as such in white people. And yeah, I think that was the danger. The young white frat boys were getting a bit fucked up. The reason I thought of Four Loko, Abigail, is when you said someone bought a couple $1,000 worth. I was listening to a podcast. I actually forget what it was, but they were laughing about Four Loko, and one said, "I know this friend," and this guy was actually semi-famous who did it. He said, like, yeah, when he heard they were killing off Four Loko, he went all around. He lived in New York State, so he went all around the towns around New York where they still had some Four Loko, and he was just buying all of it. And he ended up with literally hundreds of cans of Four Loko that he hoarded. Which is fucking weird and deranged. Aggro Pixie, you have a friend who drinks Little Fat Lamb, but she mixes it with something. Yeah, that's wise. But I mean, Jesus, all you got to do is like just buy some fucking Red Bull and put some vodka in it. You know? Fucking cut out the middleman. But it's the convenience. Oh, sorry, got a yawn. See, I'm not going to drink anymore. It's the convenience, I think, is the dangerous thing. But yeah, you could just fucking buy some energy drink and put some vodka in it, and there you go. So you can't stop people being stupid. It's as simple as that. Safa, does booze make angry sleepy? Well, I think it makes most people sleepy. Oh, no, Mega Leech, the guy in this story who bought all the Four Loko apparently is for himself. He didn't want to resell it. It was for himself. He really liked Four Loko, which is fucking weird. Abigail, I love a Jaeger bomb. I have not done a Jaeger bomb in a while and threw it on the ground. Yes, you can't trust the system. So, yes. Where was it? There's a thing some bar staff do. I've seen them. I think it's Jaeger bombs. They'll line up all this stuff on the bar, and there'll be one glass that like has the energy drink in it, and then they'll have these little soft shot glasses that have the Jaeger, and they'll balance them along the thing, and then it's like you do this domino thing where you tip one and it knocks all the others. And I've seen people do it like with a lineup of like 20 drinks. But the hilarity is if they like make one mistake as they're stacking all the stuff up, it collapses too early and fucks up the whole thing. And it can be quite an expensive mistake. But there's no denying it actually does look pretty cool visually if a bartender lines up a dozen or more of these things along the bar and then tips one and they just domino down the line, go blub, 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 and you know a whole bar full of Jaeger bombs going off. So why'd you say bedtime, Shieldsy? I'm gonna yawn again. So yes, I'm one of those people. I think this is actually fairly common. But if I start yawning, it's really hard to stop. Like it's like yawn once, and it's like that's it. I'm doomed. I'm just gonna fucking keep yawning from now on. That's just my life. My life is one of constant yawns. I'm gonna try not to do it anymore. I just thought my new fridge, I have more room in the freezer. Might be able to try and do some large scale, completely clear ice. Because what you need to do is have a little esky with the top ripped off and put that in the freezer, because then you get the directional freezing on that and get a whole bunch of clear ice, which is probably honestly more trouble than it's worth. But it's it's a thing. It's a vibe. It's Marbo. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm definitely spacing out. Oop, I need a distraction. What's in the news? Is there anything in the news? Let me see. Last day, will Trump do anything stupid on his last day? So let me see. International travel bans for COVID. Missing Sydney businesswoman linked to multi-million-dollar fraud. Yeah, international border, saying that again. Jesus fucking Christ. It's 53% alcohol and tastes like fire. Here's how this liquor brand took over China. That sounds pretty fucking intense. A fiery throat tingling liquor called Quichao Mutai flying off the shelves. $299 for a half-liter bottle. Fuck me. That's ridiculous. $299 for a half-liter bottle. Jesus. And that's in China, for fuck's sake. That's in Costco. Fuck me. That's weird. That is very weird. Kirsten. One Drink a Day on Insta has many clear ice tutorials. It's comparatively easy. You just need something that gives you directional freezing. Abigail, I am also super curious if Trump does shenanigans. And Regalich, I had heard the rumors about Trump trying to upstage Biden as well. Stella, I think in terms of countdown, I think Biden is formally inaugurated at about 4 a.m. Eastern Australian time, Thursday morning. I think it's something like that. So it is actually slightly more than 24 hours. Prospect and pardons. Trump is scrambling to get guests for his final farewell. Christ, who the fuck wants to be associated with Trump at this point? Absolutely shameless people fucking latched on to Trump just because he was the center of power, but he's not anymore, so they're all fucking dumping him. Let me see. No, that's all boring. Business, that's boring. What's Google dorking? World of Warcraft? My God, what year is it? Drag Race Down Under is coming. Yeehaw. The project hosts erupt into laughter as they make crude, X-rated jokes live on air. Okay, now I'm intrigued. Fucking Murdoch Press trying to slam him. Carrie Bickmore, Welly Daly returned. Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle is living up to the description of being beautifully unexpected. A British woman's candle exploded into flames, caused an inferno in her living room. Jodie Thompson says she's never seen anything like it, with flames half a metre in the air. When I saw the headline, Vagina Candle Explodes, I thought the outcome was more dire. I'm relieved, that's all I'm saying. Lucky she didn't burn her curtains, Hellier quipped. Somehow, for some reason, the inferno is not the most offensive thing in that story. Vagina-scented candle. Does your house smell like vagina forever? The walls. How are you using the candle, Carrie? You said off air you'd share your personal experience, which says to me you have an experience. We've run out of time. I don't think Pete can handle it. Oh, you've been in a flap about the story all day. See what I mean? Okay. Oh my God. So fucking murdochnews.com is trying to make a beat up that that's a bad thing. Stella, that thing about people saying Trump's going to have Biden arrested for treason at inauguration, that's actually fairly widespread. I'm a member of some Facebook groups that share cringe shit that Trump people post. And I know for a fact that some of the people on these forums that Trump people hang out on are shit stirrers, and they deliberately post outrageous stuff to see if they can get the Trump idiots to believe it, and they do. But it is literally impossible to tell which post is from someone taking the piss and which post is from a Trump idiot who truly believes it. But the whole thing that Trump still has this secret plan going on behind the scenes, they still actually believe that. They are so fucking disconnected from reality. It's wild. I'm really trying to see if there's any good news stories, and no is the answer. Story about quantum computing from MIT. Okay, I'll bite. What's MIT saying about quantum computing? No, this is all fucking guff. The qubit quandary. Quantum computers are frustratingly inconsistent. That's in part because the qubit superposition states are fragile. In a process called decoherence, qubits can err and lose their quantum information from the slightest disturbance or material defect. In 2003, Oliver took a staff position at MIT. See, that's a deep, dark past. I don't want to know about 2003. I want to know about now. Google has demonstrated for a particular task, a 53-qubit quantum computer can far outpace even the world's largest supercomputer, which features quadrillions of transistors. That was like the flight of the Kitty Hawk. It got off the ground. Near term, Oliver thinks quantum and classical computers could work as partners. Classic machine could churn through the algorithm. The quantum computer... okay. Error correcting codes could enable quantum computers to function indefinitely, even as some individual components remain faulty. That's when quantum computers will basically be universal. They'll be able to run any quantum algorithm at large scale. So they're still fucking theoretical, is what we're saying. Okay. Quantum computers, eh? Yeah, no, Stella. Okay, look, for a laugh, I will go onto Facebook. This group is actually called In a Sane World, This Would Be Satire. So if we go to Facebook, oh, God, the yawn again, sorry. So, in a sane world, this would be satire, but I can't be sure these days. Okay. Oh yeah, here's one that, to my mind, is obviously a spoof. Uh, they're doing the Face Off analogy, that Travolta Cage film, saying not only has Joe Biden already been arrested, Trump's done the Face Off thing with him, and it will actually be Trump getting inaugurated. Uh, that one is obviously a pun. Uh, so here's another good one. Uh, no, I want a good one. Something that's apparently meant to be a real lawn sign that said it says God bows down to President Donald J. Trump, declares he is perfect. Um, that would, if the religion was real, that would actually get you straight to hell. Um, let me see. Because now the good things aren't there anymore. Oh yeah, the other fun one, besides the diehard Trump is still saving us, Trump has a secret plan. The other really funny thing is the right wingers on Parler and whatnot turning on Trump. Like they've finally realized he's fucked them and they're getting real angry. So they're 50% split between Trump's still going to do something magic and Trump is evil and has abandoned us. Then there was the fun with the My Pillow CEO meeting with Trump to talk about martial law. I know. I thought I'd find good things, and they're not. Oh well. Oh well. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, I'm just checking. No, I'm really hoping there'd be a really funny one, and it's letting me down, quite honestly. I'm really annoyed. Oh well. Oh well. Another day. Another day. Stella, maybe I did say you can fart out peace. In my accent. Oh dear. My favorite is the rumors that Trump is hanging Rudy Giuliani out to dry because Giuliani is probably in fucking trouble, honestly. He's probably going to get disbarred. And Trump's all like, nah, he let me down, not paying any of his legal costs. It's just wild. And it's just fucking stupid. And as we were saying right at the start, when that sad little troll boy was here, you can't fucking talk to these people because nothing they say is remotely sensible. You just can't fucking talk to them. It will drive you crazy to talk to them because no matter what bit of their bullshit you shoot down, they'll just come out with more bullshit. Oh yes, Raiders. Their Parler's back on a Russian server, and that makes everyone's data real fucking safe. Like real fucking safe. But these dickheads deserve to have fucking identity theft and their bank accounts emptied and whatnot. And yes, Abigail, I am hoping for particularly all those idiots who did their let's storm the Capitol. I want them to go to prison because it's just like the way that they thought rules didn't apply to them and there would be no repercussions to doing that. Just like, fuck those people, honestly. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go to bed a little bit early. It's like 10 minutes earlier than I would. It's only 10 minutes, but I'm definitely fading and I need to do one or two things before going to bed. So I'm going to leave you. I'm going to sail off into the sunset to sleepy Bobo land. So I hope you find people are well. Look after yourself. Take care. All those good things. I will, in all probability, be back tomorrow night. I might be more awake then. Who knows? Go down to the audio. It was like I said, once I do it once, I just cannot stop. So take care, one and all. Hope to see you again soon. But I'll say bye for now. Bye. Oh, I didn't click the off button.